Today I want to show you how I produced a pop punk song in the style of MGK's new album. For those of you that don't know, MGK's Tickets to My Downfall was a huge inspiration to me. It's why I started making type beats, and that's how I ended up here. And now with Lost Americana out, it is such a good album. So first things first, I started listening to the album just to get a reference. Fuck, it's so good. I thought it'd be fun to start with the synth because of the song Outlaw Overture. It's got this like the Who, Teenage Wasteland, Daft Punky kind of synth. And I got a synth right here next to me, the Arturia Mini Freak. I actually hate synths. I hate using them. I hate figuring out how to use them, but I thought it'd be fun. Let's see what we can do here. I'm just gonna play that and see how it goes. So I started with a pad. I want this to be like a pad, so I'm just gonna like reverb the hell out of it. It was then time to record acoustic guitars. Acoustic guitar on tracks like this is either a small part of the intro or a layered part throughout the song. So I figured I would just do a part that would fit both. So I played something like this. I'm gonna do like this. Having a part like this would make it easy to use as a intro or a verse, but also use later to layer in with like a big chorus. So I took the Martin inside the booth. Let's just do it. Tell me what you wait for me. Baby, I'm a rolling stone. Now I kind of want to do a harmony. Also, in modern pop punk music, everything is quantized, not just the drums, but even the guitars and bass and all that too. It makes it so much tighter, so much more polished. At this point, I started messing around with the structure for the intro. I knew I wanted to start with synths and then add acoustic guitar. I think it's gonna start with the synth, and then it's gonna come in, I don't know when. I felt like I needed another synth, something a little more percussive and rhythmic than a pad. So I found this patch, and I thought it was pretty cool. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna say this is like maybe second half of verse. I don't know yet. Then it was time for bass. Bass is actually super important for a production like this. A lot of people think that the guitars are the heavy part, the driving force. It's not, it's actually the bass. Let's plug in the bass and see how that sounds. Okay, so at this point, I wanted the acoustic guitars to feel a lot more dreamy, which meant a lot more saturation and a lot more reverb. I wanted to kind of poke out and be like crisp, but kind of sit backwards. I think these guitars should be drenched in some reverb as well. It's gotta be really crisp, but also very wet. And then it was time to test all the stuff we put together by adding drums to it. If it sounds good with drums, we're at a great spot. For this, I use Superior Drummer, specifically the Pop Punk EZX from John Feldmann. I use this kit because Travis Barker and John Feldmann are very closely tied, so the drum sounds are pretty identical. I'm not going to play the drums because I'm not Travis Barker. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw a groove on here. I just want like something simple. Something like that. In the first section of the first verse, I took the snare out, and in the second section, I added the snare back in. I just wanted to change throughout the song. So we're gonna do something a little similar here. I'm gonna drag another groove, but it's gonna be a chorus groove because it's gonna go heavier. It's gonna sound a little more like this. And now it was time for electric guitars. A good rule of thumb for electric guitars is that you need significantly less gain than you think you need. For this, I'm using Neural DSP's Gojira, but the second and third amp are way too gain heavy. So this is way too much. I went to the first one, add a little bit of crunch, and that was it. I'm gonna go all the way over here. Yeah, it's much better. Let's take that, I'm gonna double it. Another thing we're gonna do is we're gonna quantize it all, of course. Now, there's gonna be a lot of layers of guitars. The second layer is gonna be just playing the root chord. The root chord, which in this case is C, contrasting with the chord progression from the other guitars, is gonna create a nice big kind of wall of sound guitar. Make it also sound kind of nostalgic. And then it was time to record the bass for the chorus. It was just the same thing, just play the root notes.
Cool. Now I want to add a bass synth in there. That's nice. That's nice.
After that, for the second verse and the following chorus, I added some new guitar, I added some palm mutes, and I also added some lead guitar sections. All of those using Archetype Plenty.
All right, we need some guitar chugs here, I think.
And after that, it was all about mixing. Just EQ, compression, a lot of saturation. And after all that, we got this.
Guys, I forgot to do an outro, so this is the outro. If you want to work with me, click the link in the description below. It'll be the first link. You can submit your demo. We can work on something super cool, get your song out. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you learned something, and goodbye.